I'm Felicity and today I'm going to be making with you a t-shirt from DIBY Club. I made myself a pinafore dress and I hadn't got anything to wear underneath it, and I felt it needed something quite tight, which I don't normally wear or fitted. So I'm making this super t-shirt from DIBY Club, which is a free pattern, and all the information you will find in the description below. I'm going to sew the whole thing on the overlocker, and I'm also going to show you how I finish off the bottom of most of my stretch garments. If you don't have an overlocker, don't worry about it. Just use a stretch stitch or a zigzag stitch. All right, so let's get going. So 3/8 seam allowance is allowed on this garment. The pattern comes in 3 different neck shapes. I'm doing the high neck actually because I feel I need a high neck for this particular garment, but it actually comes in 3 different they're all round but all different depths of neck. All right, so I'm going to get on and I'm going to machine down the side seams, across the shoulders and back down the other side. Overlocker on. I've got 4 threads on the overlocker, by the way, and I'm using a differential as this is incredibly stretchy. So right sides together, and I'm just going to sew those. So that's been done. Now I always rail track, which means that I don't come off after every bit I sew. I just go on to the next piece. It's much quicker to do that. Right, so cut them off, cut off the spare. No, I don't sew my ends in. I know some people do, never have done. I used to work commercially in a factory. You hadn't got time to cut things off, otherwise you didn't get paid much. So definitely don't do that. But if you like doing that, you like to sew them in because you think they're going to come undone, they won't. But if you think they are, that's fine by me. Right, okay, so there's that sewn together. Now I'm going to take the 2 sleeves, right sides together, and machine right the way down, one sleeve and then the other sleeve. So I say 3/8 seam allowance. Don't forget to cut off the right amount if you want the stitching to be at the 3/8. Sleeves done. Sleeves sewn, nice and stretchy. Whoopsie. Right, cut those off. I like to turn my sleeves around the right way, poke them inside the bodice, which is inside out. Put your bottom seams together, your underarm seams and your side seams together, and make sure that you put your 2 notches for the back and 1 notch for the front when you're cutting out your fabric. All right, always do all your notches, don't skimp on it. And the most important notch is the one which you have to match up with the shoulder seam. All right, so one slit at the top, small snip, and line that up with the shoulder seam, and off we go again. Reminds me of the days when I was younger and I used to be making clothes to wear out on that night. I'm sure a lot of you remember that. Now, got nowhere to go. Oh well, I'll have a nice wardrobe by the time this is all over and we're all let loose. One sleeve in, right, one sleeve in there. I'm just going to get the other sleeve in. So now is the time to try on, really, just to make sure everything is fine. There you go. I've tried that on. I'm very, very happy with it. It's super thin, but that's what I wanted. I mean, you could make this in anything, any type of stretch material, any jersey. This is like this is a cotton stretch jersey. This is, I think this is an acrylic single knit. You could do it in absolutely anything. Right, so now we are going to sort out the neckband. I'll just sort the pieces out. So here is my neckband, and I'm going to sew that down to make a circle, so it's sewn into a circle. So I'll just overlock that. So I've now sewn this down the centre back seam. Now we need to fold that in half and fold it in half, and then at the other side of that seam put a notch. Okay, then on your top you need to fold the neck in half, shoulder to shoulder, small notch one side, small notch other side, and this is where we line up the band. So we can fold over the band, start at the centre back where you've done the notch. I'm actually going to turn it inside out now. It's easier to do this piece inside out. Fold it inside out, place the sewn piece that you joined the circle with, place that seam that you've sewn there on the back, on the inside of the back, and keep checking to make sure that you line up the notch that you made on the other side with the centre of the front. Right, so I've now machined the neckband on. You will need to pull it slightly, otherwise it won't lay flat. All right, really important that you pull it a piece. So even if the pattern doesn't, you know, if you think it's too long, the band around the neck, then just take a piece off. All right, so I'm going to turn this around the right way, and then I'm going to show you how I do, but because not everybody has the right machine to do hems. I certainly don't have one. I don't really want one either. So, all right, so we're doing well. So there's that. So now you need to sew two bands that will go along the bottom about 2 inches. So here's my 2 bands, 1, 2, sew those right sides together. Difficult to see this, right sides together. Let's make sure that's it. I'm going to sew both ends in a circle. I've sewn the 2 bands back and front into a circle, and I'm now going to start off on one side. Let's turn that round the wrong way again. Prefer to work on the inside. Right. So place that folded on the seam, and if you want to, mark the central positions back and front and on the garment. I think I should be able to do it without that, but as long as I end up at the other side seam, we'll be all right. So there we have it. That's how I finish off the bottom of my stretch tops. Makes a nice neat finish. I think it looks neater than if you try and overlock and turn it up, quite honestly. This is what I always do. I'm just going to do the sleeve. Now the sleeve you're doing the same way, so cut yourself 2 circles, 2 strips rather, fold them over in a circle and machine to the bottom of the cuff. So here we are, we're all finished now. Super quick, super easy way to make a t-shirt. Yes, the bottom of the t-shirt finished lovely, and the sleeves all finished with a band, same as you do around the neck. Right, so that's all from me. I will be back very soon. Subscribe to my channel if you would like to see more from me, and also I'm going to be making some matching socks. So stay tuned in, okay, and I'll be back very, very soon. Thank you for watching.